Hello! Perfidious Bead here, back to take advantage of a little gender inequality and poke fun at a man's eating disorder in Darkest Dungeon. Gotta say, Falstaff, I don't mean to start the episode by firing shots, but I feel compelled to ask, are you sure you're purging as effectively as you could be? Are you taking full advantage of the fingers all the way down there? No offense, but your codpiece, it still looks a couple sizes too small there, and I think we both know it's not because of the package contained behind it. See what I did there? Not only did I make fun of Falstaff's affliction, but I also managed to imply that he's got a small penis. Got that jibe to work double shift and didn't even have to pay it overtime. It's good work. Plus, the fact that Falstaff has a dick in the first place is why it's okay for me to make fun of his bulimia. Because, the incongruity of a tough knight having a disease that typically affects the opposite gender in like 9 out of 10 cases, that's humorous. I'm allowed to do that. It's not a terrible thing for me to make fun of regardless of whom it afflicts. And I'm definitely not a piece of human garbage for suggesting that Falstaff is less of a man because he's got a girl disease. Nope, absolutely not. The incongruity of the situation gives me comedic license, and I can do whatever I want with no self-recrimination whatsoever. The comedy judge has been forced to dismiss this case on a technicality. Besides, it's not me who's really at fault anyway. It's our image-obsessed culture that's to blame. That's what's driven Falstaff's self-esteem so low that he just can't handle people looking at him anymore because he feels fat. It's society's fault, really. Also, I guarantee that little opening segue there just got this video flagged as inappropriate for some advertisers. Not that I care, because ad revenues on YouTube are a joke anyway. I'm not really that worried about it. You know what? Actually, I'm going to be genuinely curious if it got it flagged, because that has to be some of the least appropriate shit I've said in a video in a very, very long time. If it doesn't get flagged, I'm actually kind of gonna be furious if this video doesn't wind up as flagged as inappropriate. I have to admit, I will be upset. The vagaries of YouTube. Anyway, vagaries aside, let's figure out what mission we're gonna do and get to doing it. Gather the blood. I don't hate activating winemaker's reserves. We are going through a lot of blood lately, but we've got Malvolio and Othello. Really what we want to do is get back into the courtyard, but we need our ace team to go handle that, so we're gonna have to kill a little time. Othelio and Othelio. We got Malvolio and Othelio combined together. Othelio. It's like I've shipped them. Suddenly I'm like team Jakeward. It's like Edward and Jacob joined forces. It's Othelio. I'm shipping them now. You know what? They would make a great couple, Malvolio and Othello, now that I think about it. Yeah, it'd be like the Shakespearean power couple. Two handsome ne'er-do-wells, two like doing what they do and just loving life in general. I'm definitely shipping them now. It's Othelio that's an official canon now. Perfidious Peak canon, coined, termed, and stamped right there. Anyway, Othelio are doing some mutual stress relief so we can get them in tip-top shape. Lady Macbeth is also doing a little drinking down at the brothel. Perdita doesn't really have enough stress that we have to worry about it. We're just going to let her roll in with her 29. She'll get some natural stress reduction for being idle as well. Which means we can't go to the courtyard, even though we did manage to pick up 2 invitations last week, which I'm sort of stoked about. We could go for the winemaker's reserves, but we would need a medium-level team to do that, and I don't want to send anybody else in to get the Crimson Curse, because we're already tearing through the blood at a furious pace. We've got 3 people now on our B team who are afflicted, and they're not quite high enough level to go handle their own blood needs. So I think what we need to do is get these 3 back into the mix in another dungeon somehow, so we can get them a little more EXP. They came out of our last mission in relatively good shape, stress-wise. Is that how we want to roll? We could take Gloucester in as opposed to Falstaff. He does mesh a little bit better with this team, but we'd like Gloucester and Sycorax to kind of stay in parity. We can't get Caliban in this team because we've got an apprentice. We got a flagellant in there, and he's not going to let that fly. So I guess kind of like Falstaff is our de facto must take. We took Lear last time. I suppose we could take Lear again, but I just feel like he maybe doesn't gel as well. I'm not a huge fan of lepers. The problem with lepers is typically the way you want to conduct combat in Darkest Dungeon is you want to kill the back 2 rank units and then let the front 2 rank units sort of linger a bit while you do stress relief and heal. And lepers can't really do any of that. They kill stuff that's up front, and that's honestly kind of the only thing they can do is kill the front rank units. they're not really very good. Also, these guys all need weapon and armor upgrades. On the plus side, if we take Lear into a mission, what it does prevent me from having to do is reassign trinkets. So you know what? Laziness wins. We could go into the wheel, take a shot at the wizened hag. I feel like this team is effectively terrible for doing that, especially with Lear only being able to hit the front 2 ranks. It means he can't do anything to the hag at all. The rest of the team would be decent as far as dealing with the hag herself, but the abominations padlock, it's okay, but we have such a hard time getting an abomination into our roster to begin with. I'm not going to go out of my way to start farming abomination trinkets. The inchoate flesh, this team feels like they're a little bit better organized to deal with. The problem there is I don't want this trinket. I don't care about the man-at-arm. I don't care about the guardian shield. And we've got another mission with these guys because they're not going to rank up to 3 where we can't go into the warrens. I'd really like to wait for a different role. So we need something else. I'd like a different trinket to roll in there. We already have well, we don't have a Book of Intuition, but I don't really like this quest reward. What do you got in the cove over here? Hey, a Fortunate Armlet, which is actually extraordinarily useful for our leper. 5 crests, which we do need. More importantly, 4,500 gold. It's a medium-length mission. We haven't done anything in the cove, so I'd say it's not a bad idea to just maybe go check it out. I think we can handle the cove. Let's do it. This is our winner then. All right, give me some provisions here. Everybody still has their trinkets on, right? You guys are all still cool? Yeah, you all cool. All right. Let's provision. We're going to need to take... I'm taking a bonus vial of blood. We're going to take 4... I'm going to take 4 You know what? No, I'm only taking 3 shovels. Last time we came up 1 shovel short, but honestly, it didn't hurt us that badly. Let's grab 1 thing of holy water, 1 key. Probably, I feel like we had exactly the right amount of food. 14 food seems to be sort of the butter zone for a medium-length mission. We were a little under-torched last time, so I'm going to go ahead and take 2 full stacks for this one. They have made some changes since Crimson Court came out where torchlight tends to be a little bit more of an issue. I used to run with like 12 to 14 torches in a medium dungeon, but I really feel like 16 is more the heart of the butter zone right now. Also, the heart of the butter zone would be a great name for like a Paula Deen restaurant. Paula, you gotta get quick, trademark that shit. The heart of the butter zone, you gotta trademark it, girl. Let's do some armor upgrades, simply because we can get these guys all to level 2 on the relative cheap. Anybody? You guys are already level 2. Lear, let's get you up to 2. I'm not going crazy with it because we don't have an abundance of money. And Pete, you realize you don't have to re-provision. Yeah, I know, but I forgot to handle my shit. Now I'll have to re-provision. It's not that big of a deal. 3 shovels, 1 medicinal herb, grab an extra bandage, couple anti-venom, 1 key, 1 holy water. Still at 14 food, 2 full stacks of torches, 4 blood, and now we're ready to go. I must have blood before the night is through. Alternatively, I must have blood before the night is begun. Really, just bring me blood is what I'm saying. Just, I need all of the blood. Should really open like a blood bank or something. Come up with a way to get this stuff more easily. Don't want to have to make classic hunting rolls, White Wolf style. No scouting, huh? Well, we have to complete 100% of room battles. This dungeon is a little shorter than the last medium dungeon we were in. Non-zero chance there's a room battle here. And after this, it's straight line, so... Okay, now you are craving as well. This is why we brought a little extra blood. Chance to pick up some blood right here. And I think this guy may have an invitation. Have you got an invitation on you, dog? Is that what that thing is? That represents you having an invitation? I think it does. If we can get to bleed here, you're dead. He resisted. That's okay. I have faith that our boy Lear back there is going to be able to finish him up. A little pre-digestion, no problem. Lear dodged it anyway, so it's doubly not a problem. It hit me with the enraging slight. Okay. 8 stress. Not that big a deal. It marked us as well, which is a little unfortunate. We got 1 kill. Couldn't go double up on it. All right. I don't want Lear getting the Crimson Curse. I don't know. You know, maybe lepers... It seems like lepers should have some kind of immunity to Crimson Curse. Just saying, they got those thick, toughened nodules on their skin. They got a thick hide. It should be hard to punch that disease all the way through there. Nice critical from Romeo. A little bit of stress relief. Guided by pain. Favored by the light. Without a doubt. Do we need a heal here? Probably not. Let's just blind fire and kill this dude. No sense in risking test our theory that lepers are perhaps blight immune. No reason whatsoever. Free vial of blood, free invitation, free loot. I'm glad we came this way, actually. I can never remember what you do to the base relief. I think the base relief is one that you just straight up touch. Message has a lasting impact on the hero. We got last gasp. You are craving. Oh, no, that was just you giving us stress. Okay. I thought you had transitioned to wasting, but that's not the case. Just handing out a little bit of free stress, huh? Well, it's good that we came this way because we had to anyway. There is a room battle here, which I sort of wasn't expecting. Blood, I must have the blood. Pete, you ignored the stress unit in favor of the spearfishing guy. I did. Romeo has an abundance of, like, ability to self-stress relief. We'll be okay. I'm more worried about this guy hitting us with a massive critical, which will do both damage and stress. I'd very much like to avoid that if possible. Plus, we got Juliet and Malvolio, or rather Romeo, to get the book. Okay, you just gave us as much stress as that critical would have, so fantastic work. Lead stuck, so this man is dead. Juliet, I can smell their blood. She has stepped forward.
Press this advantage.
Well, that's actually a double kill, because with the bleed, we now have fatal damage on that man. Octocestus is not going to do us any good. Lear is very vulnerable to bleeding. Fishman takes one to the face. Little bit of free stress relief. Got him right where it hurts. Guy drops dead from the bleed. Stress relieving we could do. We could also reclaim. And you're not that hurt. You get 17 stress. You get 21, 44. Let's peel a little stress off Juliet. And then have her whack this man in the face. We've got some opportunity for stress relief here if we want it. We could purge. Really what I would like to do is just give ourselves... Why don't we take a little self-stress here and protection. Octocestus. That's fine. Juliet does have a little bit of bleed. Bleed resistance or vulnerability? It gives us vulnerability. Let's chop. 8 damage. Pelagic Guardian's going down here. I don't see any particularly solid reason to continue to dither with these guys. Also, more blood is excellent. We're going to eat that food, grab that gold, crack that loot, grab that gold, crack that loot. This is what you do. I don't know where I was going with that. Giant oyster requires a shovel. And definitely worth the price of the shovel. All right. Something has got to go. Well, see you in hell, Jade. Rather have 375 gold than you, who are worth considerably less. And now we're backtracking. No blood left for the leeches. You like to bleed, Romeo. You need the bleed. Romeo, need for bleed. How come there hasn't been a vampire-themed racing game called Need for Bleed? It really seems like a missed opportunity. Somebody out there can be cashing in big bucks. Paradox Interactive, I know you guys hold the intellectual property rights to the White Wolf games now, the White Wolf universe. How come you guys aren't making Need to Bleed? Through some weird masquerade violation, a young, intrepid man has been forced to compete in races like a death race style competition against his will to avoid a blood hunt. Need for Bleed, that's what it is. It's a Diablerist on the run from the princes out blood hunting him. This is a game that must exist. I demand that you use your intellectual property rights to bring us Need for Bleed. Vampire-inspired racing. Also, it's a completely untouched market. It's virgin territory, man.
Another mariner.
Our way through a shipwreck. We're already down to 1 shovel. I kind of feel like we maybe are under-shoveled. Maybe we need to start bringing a little bit heftier in a shovel. We are not going to use a shovel on a barnacle-encrusted chest. We don't mind the nasty gash at all. That bleed is actually helpful for our boy. We kind of want him bleeding. Romeo, he's got the need for bleed, man. Got the need for bleed. Another empty room. All right. The scouting is beautiful, so we're going to have a hallway battle. Hallway battle into an empty room, into what appears to be another empty room. This is acceptable for us. We've only had 2 fights so far. We're almost halfway through the dungeon. So much blood. Another nice thing we got going is since 3 of our 4 party members here do have the Crimson Curse, we have considerably less worry than we normally would about diseases. One of the irritating things about these sea maggots and such is that they oftentimes, you have a 17% bleed resist. We hit you with our best bleed attack and you just shrugged it off, huh? It's pretty impressive. Smell their blood. Once again, you have stepped forward where we definitely don't want you to be. Well, pick to the face that guy so that the one man in our party who still is vulnerable to disease doesn't wind up with one. A pelagic growler dodges this completely. We're going to take a slash. Okay, Lear's taking a little more damage than I'm comfortable with. Let's hit you with the heal. Kick to the face. Everything runs red. We can, you know what? Give him the restoration, actually. That'll give us a self-bleed. This is working double duty for us. We don't mind letting this tick out as we walk down a hallway. 300 extra gold for our trouble.
So clearly in view.
Put the party back in
Or
order,
is it
because
merely
Juliet
a
is a
drink of
bloodthirsty
delight?
monster. There'll be no blood left for the leeches. Okay, coral. Eerie coral, I always forget what it is. Bandage? I can never remember what coral is. It's anti-venom. Just touch it. I can never remember it. There's some kind of mental block I have. When it comes to coral, I can never remember what curio goes on it. Never. It doesn't matter what the curio is. It's completely irrelevant. There's some kind of gap or hole in my mental faculties that just will not let me absorb that information into my brain. This is one of those things. This is like my brain is hard-coded to just, as soon as I see it, I immediately forget. It's like a hacker put a backdoor in there. It's like, no, Pete learned what coral interactable is. Nope, take that information away from him. He's not allowed to keep that. He can't retain that knowledge. It's too powerful. I'm debating on whether I want to get rid of something for this onyx. I'm saying maybe we max our torchlight.
In radiance, may we find
Dump the
victory.
bonus torches and take the onyx, because we don't have that far left to go. 8 torches should be enough to get us through this room. And in fact, we don't even have to go all the way to the end should we choose not to. I very much want these busts. All right, sea and hell medicinal herbs. We're not likely to run across another rotting fish carcass. I like to keep holy water on hand just in case we find the brackish water. Helps us get rid of a negative quirk. More scouting secret room. Oh, yeah. We've done it. This dungeon will end in naught but triumph now. Anytime you can find a secret room these days is good. I take a key into every dungeon just in case, and you are now wasting. You're craving. Oh, we have 2 people who are wasting. All right, hold on a second. We gotta take a moment to give you a little blood here. Juliet is also wasting. Give you some blood. You're just craving? Well, you can wait then. Touch. You know what? Here, you touch the base relief. Lasting impact on the hero. Apparently, whatever its lasting impact was didn't work because it was thwarted by the Crimson Curse. Suck it. You know, the Crimson Curse is decidedly disadvantageous, but there are times when it comes back around the other side and is almost amazing. The secret compartment does indeed contain great treasure. Right, you're gone, you're gone. I'm keeping the shovel because we can't abide the stress. Give me the puzzling trappers of Hedrons. I also really want the emerald because it's 750 gold.
And limb.
Sea and hell, Onyx. We're just straight up trading gold for gold there. We probably would have been smarter to have dropped something else. We know this room is empty, so I'm not really worried about our torchlight. More scouting. The scouting is on point this mission, guys. 100% of room battles. It looks like we're going all the way to the end on this one. All right, pack has a map inside. I can't imagine that's going to do us much good. Another hunger prompt. We actually could use some more food. I'm a little salty that I threw away that extra medicinal herb, because now we kind of need to find a rotting fish carcass. Still a non-zero chance that the rotting fish carcass could give us food, I suppose. Radiant light up to 85%. I would love for this to be our last room battle so we don't have to fight any of these hallway fights. I'd really like to get out of this dungeon slim, trim, and feeling nice. Alright, shoot this logic shaman in the heart. Didn't quite get the kill, but got extraordinarily close. They're doing some trivial damage. We did score 1 kill. We could go for the punishing uppercut, which is almost certainly going to get us a kill. You know what? Just punish him. That will also get us the kill. Call of the Deep. That's a heal? Perfect. Not a heal, but a buff. That's less perfect. Rent for the old gods, we're almost certainly going to wind up bleeding. No, we resisted it. I'll be Hornswoggle. I'm going to take a stress wave, though. Or not, because Lear, the man, is untouchable. Yeah, you know what? Take a little self-damage to whack us with the restoration. It's a rend for the old gods. All right, Romeo's in rough-ish shape, especially now that he also has that bleed. Despite that, I'm not going to heal him. I'm still throwing the heals at the old leper. The highest death blow resistance in the group here is our boy. If anybody's going to take a death shot and live, Romeo is the one. Right for the heart. Looks good. I was actually kind of hoping we might find a bandage as our quest reward there as well.
Will resistance.
No dice. We got to get rid of something. That's 1,000 gold, man. Alright, sorry, Holy Water, you gotta go. You're already bleeding, so touch the fish idol. Evil force engulfs the hero. We got a debuff. Minus 25% damage until camp. You know, if we really wanted to, we could just camp now. That would leave us foodless, however. I don't really want to be foodless. Sack is empty.
As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal
We're going to have to take another hit from this, and there's effectively no way for us to get around it, except for eating one food. That's the only way for us to deke that. I want my torchlight maxed here. Hallway fight, followed by a room fight, and Romeo is back at death's door. That's okay, though. All he's got to do is win a speed roll here, uppercut a punk ass, and he's going to be fine. He did not do either of those things. But he did dodge the shot. That's my boy. Now, uppercut a punk ass. Oh, ruined. There's the bleed, too. Fatal damage. All right, girl. That's the start. Hippolyta with the big shot from the back. Well, we don't have to do anything else to this man. He hit us with his enraging slight, and he has fatal damage. He also did us a serious discourtesy by pushing our arbalest to second position. Are you wasting? You are wasting. We'll try and get some blood in you. Actually meant for that to be the AoE attack, but honestly, having the corpse in the lead position is not a terrific drawback for us. Redigestion. Hippolyta taking some blight. We can actually go big again on Romeo if we want to. Never mind. We were gonna go big on Romeo, but the opportunity has completely passed us by because our team are all rampaging, bloodthirsty killers. We need these deeds so much so that I'm actually gonna drop. I'm gonna drop that emerald in favor of the deed. We do have a room. Oh, get back in party order here, people. Party order, party people. Let's do this. What do you want, Andrew WK, to feel like we're falling down on the job? We're fighting more Crimson Court monsters than we're fighting actual monsters. It seems like maybe in a late game this wouldn't be bad because there'd be way less chance of you running into one of those blood-maddened skewers down in the warrens. Those pig men with the spit roasting and the spears that do just absolute ridiculous truckloads of damage. Well, we're not exactly hurt anymore. That was a monster crit. That man has fatal damage, so we can ignore him if possible. Gather the blood. Can't hurt Roman. Go for the single target. There it is. Lear with the big one-shot kill. Hippolyta, another launch critical. Not quite so good. Comes the thirst. I'm as thirsty as we can get. We ain't getting any thirstier. And the double shot for the kill. And hey, we got some blood. You know what? Drink that.
At least promises success.
We definitely want those deeds. We definitely want that food. The medicinal herbs we'd also love to take, but no room. And dungeon complete. Fan-freaking-tastic, man. Well, check the heirloom chest. Contents are ours. What did we find specifically? 100 gold and a torch. Do we want to fight room battles for the chance to get some curios? I think the answer is no. You know what? Maybe one more. Definitely worth it. 2 deeds. Even if we have to take a hallway fight for 2 deeds, totally worth it. 4 crests, you know what? Also worth it. Max our torchlight, dump the torches on the floor, take those 4 crests. We're gonna fight this fight, then we'll go in here and camp, and we should be, we should be in great shape. The double drowned thralls is a little unfortunate. We got to kill these guys before they get a chance to do much of anything. Honestly, I would rather have the shocker be dead. Ground thralls are going to go back to back, but they won't get to trigger their kill ability. And even if they do, it only does damage, and there's only one of them left, so we're going to be fine. Guard and grab. No problem for our boys. How much stress you got? 56. If you win a speed roll, we're actually going to have you eat this stress. We're just setting up a camp here. And then, bam, drowned thrall dies. 775 bonus gold for a shovel. No need for that shovel anymore. We're just going to pitch that on the floor. And right here, I think... Well, you know what? I was going to say we could stop it, but we might as well step out and grab this curio. And then step back in. Pack contains loot. That was beautiful. We actually got in... Darius. Nope. I don't care. It's not about Fairweather Johnson. But that little pip right there actually got us enough to get a feast off. We now have enough food that we can go for the maximum food stress reduction, and we're camping right here, and this mission is over.
A moment of respite.
Get some heals, get some feasting, a little bit of stress relief, and the only real stress relief we need here is just Lash of Solace. Find comfort in the pain, baby. And then I guess we'll encourage you. I don't really know what else to do with our time, honestly. I mean, here, have a pep talk. I guess we might as well marching plan because we got some time. Maybe take a little bit of the night moves. I've been working on my night moves. We had one time left, but there was nothing really we could do with it. And we didn't have to fight a fight anyway. We are coming out of this 100% stress-free with a magnificent haul of swag. We got more swag than soldier.
The things are driven back for a time.
20,000 in cash and prizes. You talk about swag, soldier boy. We got more swag than a celebrity at a comic convention. Like, we got more swag than Chris Pratt at Comic-Con. And you know that guy's coming home with some pretty sweet swag when he goes to Comic-Con. Yeah, you picked up Thick-Blooded, 10% Blight Resist. We got Warrior of Light, bonus damage, which replaced Ruins Adventure. I will take that in 10 out of 10 cases, straight upgrade. Calm is not fantastic, but all things considered, it's not the end of the world. More importantly, nobody leveled above the point where we might be willing to go fight the inchoate flesh. How do we do here? Anybody, anybody's Crimson Curse progress? Malvolio? You're still just Crimson Cursed. Othello? You have the craving. It's okay. Paulida, you are just Crimson Cursed. You're Crimson Cursed. Okay, sweet. I think we actually made a net gain in blood on that mission, too. We've made net gains in blood. Feels right. Okay, that one felt pretty good. The only way this could get better is if we could find a occultist ready to be recruited, but the answer to that question is a large and resounding no. Why you gotta hold out on the occultist for me here, Darkest Dungeon? It's really what I need to sort of make things go, is I need one more occultist to kind of have everything really start to gel, and you're kind of C-blocking me on the cultist. Technically, I guess you'd be O-blocking me with the occultist, because it's not really, it doesn't start with C. O-blocking also works, though. I mean, it's like orgasm denial. Don't O-block me, dude. It's more like the gender-neutral sort of term. Not necessarily cock-blocking you, you're O-blocking. I don't know where. I'm just babbling now to end the episode. Dude, is there anything else we need to do? Upgrades? Nothing? I mean, the whole hamlet is in fantastic shape. We could even go back into the Crimson Court if we wanted to and try and take another shot at the Baron. We've got our A-team ready to go do some A-team missions, except with less Hannibal Smith, B.A. Baracus, Howling Mad Murdoch, and of course, Face Man. Who's the Face Man of this group? It's got to be Malvolio, right? Perdita and Lady Macbeth can't be any of the A-team, and I think we all agree that Othello is very definitely more of a Hannibal Smith type. He really looks like he'd be appropriate smoking a cigar. He's much more Hannibal than Face Man, because you can't even see his face. What kind of Face Man has a face you can't see? Then again, Malvolio wears a bag on his head. Maybe he's more of a Howling Mad Murdoch, I suppose. The team doesn't actually, it's an A-team without an actual Face Man. Somewhere Bradley Cooper is quietly weeping into Dirk Benedict's lap. I'm going to go ruminate upon that imagery. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really means a lot. If you'd like to see Bradley Cooper weep into Dirk Benedict's lap, and who wouldn't, I consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.